Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be talking about the producer's paradox, or what I have coined the producer's paradox. The reason why I call it that is because I see once a producer hits a certain point in their career, they usually sabotage it on their own end. And I just want to talk about each step of a career. And then once you hit a producer's paradox, what you can do. It's kind of hard to explain without going in detail, which the video does. It is a little bit longer of a detailed video of me talking about my point of view, my theory behind each part of your step and journey, and then how you can fix that, succeed in the scene. I need more caffeine, bro. This is like my first coffee. I'm sorry, guys. Watching it start to finish is going to be very important to understand my theory. And if you guys have any questions on any points throughout it, please ask them below. I'm very transparent. I like to answer any questions and make sure you guys don't feel left off anywhere. And then likewise, I do tag a couple of programs that can help you do certain things. And I know I said in the video, but I'll make sure I have no connection to them. I'm not affiliated with any of them. I just think they're really good knowledge in the scene, and I think it should be shared with the community. Other than that, if it is your first time seeing this channel, I do a lot of music tutorial stuff. You can check out my channel. I have sample packs, all that fun stuff for free. Free to give the video a like if you learned something. Feel free to subscribe if you want more tutorials or more like theory talk like this. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. As we can see, this is Bob Ross's painting in the background. And I just did a little sketching over top of it in Photoshop because I can draw like a 2-year-old. This is my cappuccino. It's very good. My throat's very dry, sorry. Okay, so let me explain this to you guys. First, I want to set up the picture of a mountain, because mountain has a lot of peaks as you go up, and we know like careers in life and progression is never just linear. You're going to have a lot of drawbacks. Some are bigger than others. I think mountains really do well at representing that. So I kind of drew the outline of this mountain in Bob Ross's photo. But the biggest thing that really helps me tell the tale is what Bob Ross was really known for in his mountains, and that is this kind of fog, whatever you want to call it, mildew, fog, whatever, at the base of the mountain. And I think that really represents people's careers very well in the music industries, because when you're looking here and you see the fog on the mountain, you can see the peaks, the highest point in the mountain. And obviously the peak of the mountain is the top of our career. So I'm going to put excision up here, right? So this is the end game, excision. BOP will talk about this, but I really want to talk about this, what you can't see, where I drew over, right? Where this mountain is. That is what I like to call the fog of producing. Stole from fog of war, but we're going to use fog of producing because no one really knows about you. You're not known in the scene. So you're the part of the mountain that no one takes the picture of. You're the part of the mountain that no one wants to, climb. You're the starting point. You're not the end point. You're not the fun point. And that's where I believe a lot of producers struggle to get out of this. And myself, I'm not even really breaking out in the scene yet. So it's not like I'm talking down. I'm talking through as I'm pushing through where this white mark is. As someone that's going through it, this is what I see as the best method. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. When you start production, this is going to be the first day you buy Ableton, FL, right? Your biggest thing you want to do is like impress your friends. You're going to want to write the banger as fast as you can to prove and validate yourself as this really weird career that you chose. Maybe kind of sort of, does that click with anyone? But in reality, you really need to take it slow and really need to understand your DAW inside and out. I'm going to pop up some hash marks. It's even going to pop up stuff up here. So what I'm talking about first, you need to learn your DAW inside and out. You need to learn that, and that just takes time, right? There's nothing to do but YouTube University and grind it out. That's step one. Step two, brand. Brand is what's going to make or break you in the career besides your music. Music is one way to be told, but if you don't have a professional look or a professional theme, it will not work for you. And that, no one's perfect. Some people start out right at the get-go and have a really good brand like Woolly, Excision, all this stuff. They kind of knew what they wanted from the start, but other people didn't. And you can see like people that changed their names halfway through. Let's talk about Code Pandorum to Inhuman. Not that Code Pandorum was a failed brand, but he changed his brand, right? To fit something that he thinks could do better and represents him. But your brand is important. And I could talk from experience there as well. Is that your brand needs to be on point. When I say that, you have to have a cohesive theme. I'll tell you, when I first started Wasted, I wanted Anubis to be the forefront of my brand, and so he kind of is my caricature. I'm sure you've seen him. So I started going more the way I should have went, which was Wasted plays on the pun of gym and protein, so I went that route. And I feel like that's a much more cohesive thing with Anubis in the background. And that's just my personal endeavors. I had my brand colors early on. I really like black and yellow, and that's been fine. But brand development will grow over time, but you just really double down on what your values are as a brand, and really double down on what that means to you when you say that name. When I say Wasted, what did that mean to me? And I didn't get it right the first few times. I don't think most people do, but it's okay. You can go back, reassess, figure out what works, what doesn't, and move forward. Last one's the music. So once you're starting to get to the end of your start production, we'll call it phase one. That's meme-ish. And this is where you're actually able to write good music. And by good, I mean not like top of the line, but like you can write music and people are like, oh, this is cool. And you can start getting a cohesion in your brand, not necessarily by a certain sound, but just the way you write and the style generally will have a cohesive element. And you're going to start stacking music. Now, I know you're going to release your first music when it comes out, but I promise you don't. We are finally, with the parenthesis out of the way, we are into the producer's paradox, where this big white line is. And this is really what I want to talk about today. And that is that the producer's paradox to me is where you hit a threshold of skill points that is acceptable in the scene, but you want to keep going. And then this prevents you from building your following at this time, getting exposure, being seen, because you're holding on to this playable music that can help you grow. Let me say first that this has been done before very successfully. Joyride sat in his parents' basement for like 10 years and just made music and came out making banger after banger after banger headline. And that's how he became, a top act, because he just grinded for 10 years in his basement, didn't release anything until Joyride came out. And this isn't probably the most successful way to do it, nor do I think it's the most validating, and not to take away from Joyride at all, because he's far more successful than me. But I feel like you really miss out the chance to grow with your super fans and engagement and get to enjoy the way of learning music, learning how to DJ, and rinsing, repeating, and growing in the scene. It's a very satisfying feeling. I want to talk about someone successfully that did do it there, but when you don't, this is where you run into the issue. You're not releasing tracks. When you're at this point, you have a tight circle of producers, good, like around your same type of skill set, that can let you know. Like, these are the producers that are going to let you know, hey, your snare is clipping. Hey, this doesn't work. Hey, I'm going to be very hard on your music back to you if you're asking me like really critical mix things, and this is what your group's going to be doing. Sorry, my battery died right there, but I did want to finish what we're saying. So when you're not building plays and you're not building a following, you're not building your email list, you're not pitching out music to artists that could play your music out, and you can get more seen known that way, then you're kind of stagnating your brand, because as an artist, the biggest thing you have to offer to grow is your music, because that's the product we give out. And when you don't sell, and not even like actual monetarily sell, but like give a product out, you can't expect to grow. And this is where I run into the issue of holding on to playable music that's good enough. Maybe even if it's not quite ready for like mid-tier labels, like you can still self-release. And this is where it's going to come into outside of the plays, which I was talking about, is the market. Is just your sound is getting cohesive at this point when you're at this breakthrough. So you're missing out on more cohesive playing because you don't know what's working in the scene and not. Like, whenever I pass around my tunes, if I notice one is getting picked up a lot more, I'm like, okay, why? Usually I can know why, but like, is it a sound? Is it the rhythm? Is it the mix? What is it, the style? And I can be like, okay, people really like this style of music from me. Let me go make that. So you're missing out on plays that way in the scene, and even on Spotify where you're going to grow. You're missing out on you because you don't know what to develop more, because you're not putting stuff out there and you can't get any analytics on it. Not that analytics guide my music personally, but it's a good metric to have nonetheless. If something performs 3 or 4 times better than the other track, why? Is it my marketing campaign? Did something else go down? These are questions on the business side of music you have to understand and ask yourself. And lastly, you're missing out on the market. Market means a couple things here. Your following that you're growing with. If you would release these tracks for, if you were releasing tracks for maybe a year or two before you're originally going to hold on and release it, then you missed that year or two to engage with your audience, grow your audience. Like I said, grow your email list. I know I sound like a broken record, but all these things play in a part to grow your brand, to grow these super fans, to grow your brand even more so that you can get booked and get valued and get numbers on your Spotify. And the market means you don't know how to market stuff. Like marketing is so important. So important. Like once you're at a point where your music is good, good, doesn't have to be amazing, but good. Like you can write a track, where everything's mixed down, you got an idea. You should really learn the marketing side of stuff. This is something I've gotten in recently, a little later than I wanted to, but learning marketing campaigns on Spotify, learning marketing campaigns on pretty much any streaming app, for your page as well, how to run ads, how to get analytics can be really helpful. And down below, I'm gonna link two different classes, not classes. Down below, I'm gonna link one group. One's called Defyre Society. If you're a newer producer, you can get feedback from pros like Lax, Felmax, Glades, pretty much any top dog in any genre. There's a lot of people to give you feedback. If you're learning music and you don't have a mentor, it does cost, I forgot how much a month, but it's definitely worth it. I did it and I'm still in it. I'm not really that active in it right now, but I do it and it really helped my music when I was first learning to where I am now. And the second one is a marketing class that I just took on Spotify. If you want to learn like the algorithm on Spotify, it does cost money as well, but it's a really good tool. And I think producers should use these tools. What does all of these three things after the producer paradox mean? And I know this is a longer video, but this is why I'm telling you I need to paint this full picture for you guys to understand the magnitude. And if it sounds like I'm rambling, I'm sorry. BOP. Once you figure out your marketing, once you're getting plays, labels, you have a cohesive sound, you're going to hit a point in your career where you have the BOP, which is your breakout point. This is where your music's starting to get recognition. This is where you're starting to gain fan base. This is where promoters are starting to notice you, or at least when you send out a demo mix, they're responding to you, even if it's no. This is a very crucial point in your career, which cannot be reached unless you get out of this area here, where you're feeling like your confidence in your music isn't there because you don't know everything, which is fair because there's so much to learn. And that's why I put those resources below, so hopefully you can learn other things. Is once you have that producer paradox and you get past that and you start investing in yourself more, you're getting more plays. You're going to invest in marketing. You're sending out your stuff to producers. You're sending out your stuff to labels. You're just sending stuff out. You're getting your name out there. Forward can't be stopped. You keep grinding this. Eventually, you're going to hit this point. You keep repeating your own success. What got you there? Keep repeating. The biggest thing in the industry is consistency. But the second biggest thing is the willing to learn. And unless you're going to be managed by someone or you have a very lucky scenario in which someone's going to take you under the wing directly in the industry, you have to learn this stuff to be successful because this market is oversaturated, which isn't a big deal. Oversaturated just means competition, which is going to make you a better producer if you thrive in that. But what you can do in an oversaturated market is stand out. And that's learning this other part, learning the marketing, learning how to get your name out there, learning your brand, really doubling down on your brand. So when someone hits you up and they want you to do a list, you have your contract, you have your EPK, you have everything that's you, and you can send that very professionally. A lot of people don't even have that. So remember, this market may be oversaturated, but if you invest in yourself, there is success. It's just a waiting game, getting your skills right, and applying the right type of marketing. Okay, I feel like I've rambled way too long on this, and I hope this video helps explain this to you. If it doesn't, ask me questions below. I truly hope this does help. Like I said, if you have any questions over Defyre or the marketing course as well, hit me up. I'm a very transparent person. I get nothing by tagging these groups either. So no monetary value for me. I'm just trying to help you guys succeed in the scene. I hope you guys learned something from this video, and that's really it. Have a good fucking day. Do that shit. Go produce some shit. Make some bangers. Get past that producer's paradox. Cheers. Have a great rest of your day, guys.